The most inexpensive new iPhone is here. Meet the iPhone SE 2022 edition. Well, it might look a little boring at the outset. Believe me, this is one of the most interesting launches of this year. I'm sure by this point we all know what to expect with the new SE. But hey, let's get the unboxing done and take a close look anyway. My name's Ash, you're watching C4E Tech, and if you do end up liking what you see here, thumbs up, subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that bell icon, let's get started. We have a regular Apple iPhone box here, the slim one for obvious reasons. Opening it up, we are greeted by the white iPhone SE, and by white I mean starlight. Apple also happens to offer this in midnight and product red color options. Anyway, coming back, next up is a Type-C to Lightning cable, a SIM tool, a single Apple sticker, followed by the regular reading material. Pretty simple. Now this is the third generation iPhone SE, and in some ways, it is the weirdest one yet. Now let me explain. The first iPhone SE came out all the way back in 2016, a few months after the release of the iPhone 6s. It had the same chip as the 6s, but the rest of it was, the iPhone 5s. Now this kind of made sense because with the iPhone 6 and on, Apple had made the jump to larger screens. So for someone who was still holding on to an iPhone 5s, which had come out 2.5 years back at that point, for someone wanting to stick with a familiar form factor, the timing was right. It was an upgrade, but one that also happened to keep most things familiar, also while keeping the cost low. Similarly, when the next iPhone SE came out in 2020, Apple had again increased display sizes, and it's not just that. The standard iPhone in the market at that point was the iPhone 11, and it was 13% thicker and 30% heavier than an iPhone 8, which, you guessed it, had launched 2.5 years back at that point. So it made sense to do an SE which basically was all iPhone 8, but with the same internals of the iPhone 11. It appealed to people holding on to their iPhone 8s and wanting a familiar upgrade path. So based on this sample set, it seems like Apple goes for the latest chip plus a 2.5-year-old everything else for the iPhone SEs. And that is where things get weird this time around. Yes, we do have the latest chip, the A15 Bionic, but the rest of the phone is not 2.5 years old, but almost double that. We get the iPhone 8 everything else again. Now at the outset, this might seem ridiculous. How can a 5-year-old everything else make it in 2022? But strangely enough, it actually does, and it's testament to Apple's general built-in design. Now, as much as we all love to make fun of the notch, iPhones do look beautiful. There, I said it out loud. And the iPhone 8, it was a very good looking phone. Yeah, there are parts of this that haven't aged well. For example, the display, it's got a resolution just above HD with a standard 60Hz, not even HDR. And more importantly, the bezels might be a turn off for a lot of potential buyers. But then again, there are parts of the phone that still hold up quite nicely. The metal sides, they feel great in hand. The glass to the back, it feels very premium even by today's standards. And if you are one of those who still regret the loss of Touch ID, well, that makes a return alongside the home key. Also, given how the display sizes and in turn overall footprint/weight keep going up on phones these days, the SE feels quite special in the fact that it's deceptively thin, and at under 150 grams, it also feels super light. Now the camera, again, from the iPhone 8, you'd think it would suck, but it doesn't. It's actually very good. That 12 megapixel f1.8 combined with the new ISP, the image quality is excellent. It's easily one of the best in its segment. This I honestly was taken aback by. I was really surprised. Just zoom in and take a look at the detail levels or see the dynamic range captured on the shot of the sun going down. Beautiful, beautiful images. This trend continues on with videos too. 4K 60 with OIS. This is actually better video than we've seen on some recent flagships. Well, the ultra-wide most definitely will be missed. The one camera that is here, it's top-notch. Well, not exactly one camera, since there is another one to the front, the 7 megapixel selfie, and it's aged quite decently. Pretty good shots. What do you think? Leave a comment down below. The one area where I feel Apple should have done better is with low light. I mean, the images are still pretty good, but this year too the SE lacks night mode. This is pretty much a self-imposed handicap given we do have capable hardware underneath. I don't think enabling it could have been all that difficult. Now talking about capable hardware, the A15 Bionic, it's blazing fast here. If you are buying an iPhone SE, this is what you're paying for. The most powerful chip on a smartphone today. You get the same 4 gigs of RAM as on the iPhone 13, but the base storage is half of what you'd get on an iPhone 13 because this one starts at 64 gigs. That said, performance is most definitely not going to be an issue on the iPhone SE, the 3rd generation, 2022, whatever you want to call it. Also, due to the internals, you should be getting solid updates for a long time. The first iPhone SE that launched all the way back in 2016, it's still being updated. Currently, it's on the latest iOS 15 in 2022. And it's not just running on iOS 15, but it's running iOS 15 well. So from a software perspective, you can expect timely updates for about twice as long as you'd get with the most expensive Android flagship on offer today. And that is one of the SE's biggest selling points. Now from the biggest selling point, let's transition on to one of the biggest issues with the last iPhone SE, its battery life. Apple has kind of paid attention to it by increasing the capacity, but it's only about 10%. Expected to do better, but it's still, 2000 something mAh, so I'm not expecting miracles. The iPhone SE 2022, it's priced at $429, or rather starts from $429 in the US, 43,900 rupees in India. Well, I am not a fan of a 5-year-old phone being rehashed. The chip inside, the raw performance it brings with it, the longevity of software support, the excellent camera, they're all just too hard to just ignore. I'm gonna have fun testing this one out, and I'll have a lot more to say in my full review once I'm done with the testing. But right now, what do you guys think about the new SE? Love it, hate it, got more complex feelings? Let me know in the comments below. And I guess that's pretty much it for this quick little unboxing and hands-on. Thumbs up, thumbs down based on whatever you felt about it. Subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that bell icon if you haven't yet. And thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, my name's Ash. You've been watching C4 Retech, and I'm signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.